seems like transition, roll, hello, hello. Input, output, screenshot. Oops. Sorry. Okay. Oops. А зараз? Зараз є чи ні?
Не бачила.
Can I search for this?
Sergio, come for a second. Isn't it out of tune? This is A. Yeah, but it's out of tune. It's not me. Hello, 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 hello. Shukhrat, I'm gonna tune you the guitar because it's out of tune. Okay, you have it tuned. When temperatures change a lot for it, like for example you were in the heat, they can lose tune.
So, yeah, we finally did it. Broadcast is working and we can start. And I think we'll start with Sergio. Yeah, actually, second. Yeah, Sergio has 2 minutes and we start.
Yes, exactly. But like it was like more of a direction of signal
Thank you all people that came today. We had more people that said they're gonna come and didn't came. Um, anyway, I'm really happy to see you guys, especially everyone. Yeah, Marina, Sergio. Yeah, guys, I'm very happy to see you. Also, I see Jorge and Boris, and yeah, and the topic of today's event is Create Whatever, which is basically about creative flow and us being a part of it instead of just consuming. And we have two speakers today, Sergio and Boris. Sergio gonna share about his art and how he creates because he's a songwriter. And Boris gonna share about his creative path as an entrepreneur. Yeah, I don't know. He will introduce his topic better. That's my understanding. So yeah, just word to Sergio.
Hello. I would like to say thank you very much, Shukhrat, for inviting me and for organizing this event and giving me a chance to expose some of my art to people. I prepared 3 songs, and I'd like to say a little in between these songs. The first song is called In the Dark. 1 second. It's just a little text I wrote for this. So this phrase popped up in my head. The right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world. This was a cryptic message from a game I used to play when I was a kid called Half-Life. It released in the early 2000s, and I was mesmerized by the phrase more than the game itself, though the game was an undisputed masterpiece. The sentence spoke directly to the underdog in me and the quiet child navigating the loud shouting of others. Others close to me, people that I learned to cherish, not only by choice but through force and the will to survive. So the next song is called In the Dark. Oh yeah, I forgot. I need to connect it. Can I connect the thing? Sorry. God, I'm tired of living out here where the people Papa paid, while the lonely man spends his time on drinks and asks me how much I made. God knows I needed something someday that makes me feel awake, but I think it's high time to spend my goddamn higher pay. I need my soul. It's like I need my mind made up on life. I need my heart. It's like I need my love devastated by the dreams that just won't make it here in the dark. So I'm calling on everybody, one foot in the lobby and the other one right behind me, saying it's way too late to find me in these parts. Oh mama, I live my life just like I know I'm gonna die. When the world and sky collide, I need my soul. It's like I need my mind made up on life. I need my heart. It's like I need my lover here at night. I need my brothers and sisters, people in my best wishes, to get up bare bone, devastated by the dreams that just won't make it here in the dark. Here in the dark. Oh. Sorte minha quando soube que tudo que tinha era a mesa onde escrevia, quer de noite, quer de dia, neste hemisfério norte. Neste hemisfério norte. Oh, but I need my soul. It's like I need my mind made up on life. I need my heart. It's like I need my lover here at night. I need my brothers and sisters, people in my best wishes, to get up bare bone, devastated by the dream that just won't make it here in the dark. Oh, in the dark. Thank you. Thank you very much. And one second. I'll continue my rambling. The recording is a bit better. I'm just a bit nervous, sorry. But yeah. Trying to get past that. If you want, you can find me on YouTube, yes. Sorry? There will be same scars if yeah, okay. Yeah. So the next phrase was a phrase that shaped me in my early adulthood, and it was, all I need is a whisper in a world that only shouts. This was after years of inner turmoil, of confronting not only my demons, but eventually, and others as well, the demons of others. This phrase, it comforted me, and it kind of made the thud in my chest grow louder. My heart seemed alive again when I heard it. My passion for living ignited like fireworks fleeting in the night sky, and I discovered my first romantic love. A flame was born out of a spark. A whisper had made its way into my heart and mind, and in a world that only shouted at me. This next song is called Windshield Memories. The sands of time cannot reduce the feeling of you living with another man. I got a full chest of people screaming, darling, darling, I don't think you know I'm sad. So here we go again in spring. I spring out of bed is listening, God is listening to me. Standing on the tallest tree, listening to people watching me. They don't know how many sheep that I've counted every night to try and fall asleep. I'm a mess, babe, I'm a mess. I'm your mess, babe, I'm your mess. I'm your misty memory intact of a windshield of a car that I crashed. Thank you very much. That the what I just said before the song kind of seemed a bit happy and hopeful, but that song was very sad because it was after the breakup of my first romantic relationship, but it sounds, to me it sounds really nice. I like how beautiful it sounds, and I just wanted to share that with you guys today. So. For the last song. Oh, thanks, Borys. Who is really to blame? Why blame at all? These were the magic words spoken by Mr. Hui, a kind voice from the SOS Friendly Voice hotline. I called him on a night when I couldn't take it anymore. I needed to talk, and I needed to be heard. The hotline promised someone would be there, and there was. His name was Hui. He was an older man, probably in his early 40s. He listened, he laughed, and he kept me company for 2 hours with a calm and reserved but warm tone over the phone. Thank you, Hui, for listening to me that night. This next song is called A Lover, an Enemy. Lover, I confess I never knew where the road would take us. Severed all my ties with my friends, I'm completely naked. A part of me is thinking about all those times you were there but faked it. In an empty bed, an empty room, I think of how my life with you will make it. Standing in the pouring rain with all the tears you chose to hide your face in. It's not a call for common sense, it's just a plea for innocence I tasted. So if you see my name in lights, the shore divide of bitterness will lace it. 'Cause in an empty bed, an empty room, I think of how my life with you will make it. In an empty bed, an empty room, I think of how my life with you will make it. Is a lover just an enemy? You choose to forgive, then replace it. Game Sky. Sorry. Thank you very much for listening to me. I'm sorry. I normally don't know where to look when there's a crowd, but it's like I just get. I don't know. So this song "Game Scars" was the first song I wrote ever with an instrumental on YouTube. I just wrote lyrics over it, and it was really easy because I was going through a heartbreak of a girl I never even kissed or anything. I just fantasized about it, and I wrote this. And it's Borys, one of Borys' favorite tracks, I think. He likes it. Thank God. Okay. Thank God. Will you catch me, darling, as I fall into the sea? Will you climb a cliff for me, dive deep in with me? Will you watch me watch the stars on an endless night for years? Will you share the same scars that the stars have shared with me? And I could learn to dance in a different kind of way than this. And I could write a song with a different kind of instrument. I don't know for sure how the water boils and never spills. Can you simmer down and just sit still? Will you loan me something that I need? Will you say you need me when I'm the one in need? Will you hide the lost piece of the puzzle that we made? Will you piece together the lost game that we played? And I could learn to dance in a different kind of way than this. And I could write a song with a different kind of instrument. I don't know for sure how the water boils and never spills. Oh, can you simmer down and just sit still? Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for everyone, and enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you. Sorry? Oh, how can I don't know. Because, wait, if you search for it, there'll be a lot of Sergio Limas.
Yeah, I usually when I listen to, I look for same scars, and then Sergio, and then that's how I find it.
I need to make it easier for people to find me. SEO.
Yeah, we finally started. It's a bit funny. How do you feel, Boris? Yeah. Oh wow, yeah, we actually like for me it's not as important how big the event are, it's just very important day for me because oh my, we like worked for a year and a half, work, and we wanted to celebrate a turning point and make this as a turning point. So later, maybe after a year or 2 or 3, we can recall and say, oh, there were actually a returning point, and I want that point to be truth, you know. So Maybe there were a lot of people, maybe there are no people, maybe someone registered, maybe not, I don't know. But it's interesting to recall after how it started and where it let go, because it started many years ago for me, and I already had a lot of these points. Yeah, and I'm gonna be sharing a little bit later of my insights. Yeah, just later. And now I would like to give a word to Borys, my very good friend that helped me a lot, believe a lot, and he just great person. Yeah.
Now I have to change my entry because I was trying to make some joke about Shukhrat, but he was very kind to me, so it's like disrespectful at this moment. So, uh, like it's a funny place to be between two people who have like such a interesting impact on my life. Sergio like has been my life like kind of more incidental, but also like in a very meaningful way. Like for example, I've never had an experience of trying to play and create music on the go, and he kind of showed me that it exists in me, meaning there is a piece of me that just willing the action, meaning like playing and saying, you can kind of stumble into playing music. And that's a very interesting lesson in life, meaning if life unexplored is not worth living, like you helped me explore a bit of my life. And Shukhrat like probably is one of the most influential people in shaping my perception of life, if not in life, then at least for the last 2 years, surely. So, an unlikely being. I have a subject. Okay, I forgot about it. Sorry. Usually the thank yous are in the end, but it somehow came out this way. Okay. Shukhrat, what am I supposed to talk about? Because I will talk about it because you wanted to identity as an entrepreneur, yes? Yeah. Okay. But you can talk about whatever is Freespace. Okay, because the subject, as I wrote it, is what is my identity? It's a general question. You can ask it to yourself. Do I highly recommend it? It depends. Like, it's kind of Jungian. If you look into the abyss looks at you. So, like, you do you. And the subtitle is Create Whatever Identity You Want, short workshop with exhibitory case study. So, we all have some kind of an identity. Generally, we call it ego in the West. In the East, they call it differently, but I don't remember at the moment how. There will be Eastern terms, but I don't remember at the moment specifically for ego. You probably all know kind of the concept of karma, at least like the word karma. Like if you kind of like dig a little bit deeper in, like it's like there is like karma 1 and karma 2. Karma 1 is karma of like being set into time and place in reality, meaning like you were born or in some year lately, like you are not dead evidently. And you have been placed in a society of sorts, meaning everybody was born here, probably had a mother at least. And there is karma number 2. And karma number 2 is karma of your actions. This is like what people most often refer to as karma. And they are large, like people who think about it think that both are relevant. And what I'm relating to here is we both were placed into a family. Excuse me, not both. And given being placed into a family, we were given a context of karma 1, meaning like you have like hierarchy of birth, meaning rich family, poor family, country A, country B. And you have the things that were shaping you and how you kind of acted on reality. Like I would say that shaping you is still karma 1, your choices are more karma 2. So like kind of children don't really build karma, I think. So when you think about what shapes you in your parents, I would say safety, like is the main, like one of the concerns. Modeling behaviors and emotional regulation are some of the key features of parents, if done well. A lot of us have identity created around safety. And that's not bad. Meaning it's not nothing. Just like, if we want to be clear, like, there is value in safety. Some of us created career about fighting for safety. So that's not nothing. But modeling behaviors, meaning do as I do, not as I say kind of situation, and emotional regulation is not something that we very often meet in our families. And this will shape our karma too, because like we will act as well as we can act given the circumstances, for example, exposure to information and good practices. I would say the identity is like composite of safety and modeling behaviors, meaning like you are kind of told who you are and you are acting in a space of actions that you know, meaning like you probably aren't doing things completely different than everybody else. You just choose something that you have already seen. I don't know how true creativity is there. And then also that body keeps the score, meaning it keeps the score pretty much from the start, meaning you have your parents' gene, but also it will build up the build-up of your stresses, it will build up the patterns of your thinking. So my question in the beginning was, what is my identity? In order to answer the question, what is my identity, I should provide you a definition. I provided you a definition which is roughly right with me, meaning I've explored all of these things because I was going through my personal challenges, and like everybody else, it's perfectly human to have challenges. In November, I was speaking about identity crisis. And it's a kind of interesting thing, because if any of you know something about Bible, there is like a story there. It's an interesting story of Exodus. Story of Exodus starts when like Israelites are in Egypt as slaves. Then they are supposed to go to the promised land, but there is something in between called the desert. And if you assume that this is not literal, but like literal meaning some people somewhere, but extremely personal, this is you in your life, it means you are starting in slavery. Let's call it culture, but I'm gonna explain. Slavery in the sense that you cannot do nothing outside of the boundaries of something that is both protecting you and at the same time expecting from you. Then you are going somewhere to find the right mode of being. Let's call it the identity that you want and the things that you want, because things that you want you will create around the identity that you create for yourself. We're gonna come back to that. And you will find in the book that nowhere there is said that it's an easy journey. People want to go back to slavery. People want to like treasure false gods. People want to like hate on the God that they have. Probably more vices, but never mind. All of this we do. We want to go back to slavery. For example, I lived a life of a person working in corporate jobs, pretty much almost all my life. Like this is like golden cage slavery, not in the sense that somebody enslaved me, meaning that how much space do you have in a structure that you didn't design for your own creativity? Maybe a lot, meaning I'm not judging like your specific work. This is like about me at the moment, meaning a case study. I had great jobs, meaning like with people who were intelligent and doing things that are seemingly interesting, like to some degree. But there also was a push, and like we kind of label things around us less like part like logically, part intuitively. Like for example, entrepreneurship. Like I wanted to try entrepreneurship, and how many of us want to try? Almost everybody. Why? Because on one hand is a little bit of like freedom, and another like social acknowledgement. So I decided to like roughly 2 years ago blow up my life. Decided to come to Portugal, decided to try to see what I can find if I like step out of my comfort zone. Stepping out of your comfort zone is a very strange thing. You go into the desert, nothing to drink, nothing to eat. People are rambling around in myself, meaning why have you done it? Like maybe like go back to slavery, like get your job back. No, let's go forward. No, let's like try to find religion, take like psychedelics or like something else, like there surely is another god to find. Like it's a very funny place, the desert. Because we also don't know really where it ends, meaning 40 years in the Bible, but let's substitute 40 years for long. Like, how much is long? You will see if you live. And sometimes it was close to not. Okay, so set apart from the things that I could repeat, meaning like normal job actions, it's kind of funny to answer yourself like the question, what now? I will try this, I will try that. We are mostly repetition, meaning there are ideas like Vasana and Klishta in Eastern philosophy. Let's call it that, why not? One Vasana is loops. Klishta is coloring. So what we call perception is roughly repetition of same patterns of looking at reality and coloring reality as it comes into us. And finding out what are your loops. Roughly, most psychologists will like call it patterns of like, there's also some other things. Okay, and coloring meaning like, was it bad or good? Somebody who has an optimistic inclination will color good. Somebody who has pessimistic, bad, and so on. So this is a fun place because nobody can guide you through it. This is your mind. And if your mind is anything like mine, it's a strange place. Thanks to like knowing Shukhrat, I got to see from the side like what do people do if they care, not only about if they earn, but how they earn and like what reason do they earn for. And because of him and other people that I could model in the sense of repeat their behaviors or their ways of being and help to learn how to regulate myself emotionally because I can hug this man and he's lovely to hug, and a few other friends. Like I've added to the security the pieces of modeling behaviors and emotional regulation. Why it's important? Because most of us don't listen to ourselves because we don't like what we find when we try. At the same time, if you ask the world who you are, the world will answer. It's Jungian. There is always an option to take on an identity that was given to you. Are you interested? What can be the identity that is worth living for you? Bukowski said that find what you love and let it kill you. It's unlikely that we get out of this game alive, meaning like history tells us that we all die. It might change in the coming decades, whatever. But my point is, in my path of trying to understand what is my identity, what kind of gods do I serve, what kind of work can I do, what does creativity mean for me, like one of the inspirations is like inspiration from Shukhrat and also like other people who think for themselves, and like saying something like business, for example, for me is a spiritual journey in which I'm tasked with creating value for other people in order to share in that value and like go on. Like it's much easier to embrace the morning, and this never was my identity. The fact that in November I've played and sang wasn't part of my identity before I played and sang. I've tried, I did some things, I stayed with them for long enough to see if they work. Nobody guaranteed they will, nobody guarantees they will. And that's okay. That's just human life. You're not special if it's hard for you, life is hard. It's not personal. Life is just hard. Ask yourself, given the definition that I've placed on you, given the friends that you have, what is your identity? Because it's like an interesting question. If you ask, some answer will pop out. And ask yourself, are you happy with the identity that you have, and what would be the identity that you would like to have? And then enact it in actions, in relationship to your feelings, and relationship to your thoughts. None of them are you. You are the perceiving part. You are not the state, you are the process. And especially judging yourself through the lens of state on a bad day is unfair. And understanding both in the good and the bad that it will change. It may change for the better, there is no guarantee, but you may do it, is a rewarding relationship with reality. Because you have the potential to be who you want to be and let it kill you. Have fun. Is it okay? Do I finish? Okay. Bye-bye.
I know Boris actually wanted to have Q&A. Yeah, but yeah, but
I forgot that I prepared a trick.
yeah.
It's not exactly a trick, but there will be space for questions, but like I'm gonna do one more thing. Yesterday I was at the breakfast, creative breakfast, creative mornings, and one of the phrases that happened on the projector is a phrase that I use constantly with people, which is you do you. Meaning at the moment that I need to end the conversation, like eject from the conversation, and somebody has a different opinion than mine, you do you. For friends, I add, hope you love you. Creativity is a strange thing. I don't know if it was there when I thought about it, but it is there when I cross out the use. Check the letter that stays, the word that stays. Yes. As Shukhrat would say, probably like this was a part of being a champ. For something. If there's a Q&A and there are no questions, that I will just sit. Yeah. It depends like what discomfort. Some people it's like positive adventure. I have I have a different perspective, I think. You said about freedom? Yes? My my per I would say that identity is, to me, like this is a definition that I'm taking. So like I'm taking responsibility for that definition, and then we can try to align so that like we start with the same definition. For me, identity is me about me, meaning what do I think about myself. There is a part of identity, what do I think that others think about me, but I would say that's a small piece. Mostly it's like what I think about me, because this shapes my actions. This is how I look. So like aligned on this definition, if we can proceed, like what's your question? Like I like yeah, there are no like how do they say? It's Tom Sowell. Like like I don't remember. Like I think the first part, like Tom Sowell, like generally said something like there are only trade-offs. Like there was something before, but I want to focus on this piece. Like I think that we only can trade off kind of pieces of ourselves in the sense of okay, this is gonna be a potential controversial statement, but it's not mine, so I'm pretty much citing somebody else. I had to have an unpleasant conversation with myself through life. Wait a moment. Okay, I'm gonna see. Since I started from this side, I'm gonna just trust myself for a moment. About like staying alive or not. And later I've heard John Vervaeke, a professor from Toronto University, phenomenal guy, incredible lectures about meaning. Very long, like 50 lectures, I believe. I didn't do the last 20. Never mind. But he said something like that. It's the right idea with the wrong implementation. Some things needs to die and wither within us. Some things are like how to care for ourselves and learn a new way. In death there is rebirth. Like this is the yin and yang division and paradox, meaning in chaos there is death and rebirth. In structure there is order and calcification over structure. It's gonna be stupid to say that I forgot the question. But it's complicated what it brought. It surely like brought me to chaos because I was overstructured. Living with the unknown was very hard very often because probably one of the key dimensions we live in is unknown and known. And living in the unknown is a hard thing. But if you have good crew, like for example Shukhrat, Sergio and others that I got to meet on the way, I get to become a different person by embracing both them and myself in the new version of me that I perceive. Do you want to ask me something about entrepreneurship I didn't add something, or like do I just sit because like I don't know if I given that we have, like, do you mind? I don't know if everybody has to run, but like I can speak about it for a moment because it's an interesting experience. Like all of those things are not like that I spoke about earlier are not like just a relationship with like logical concepts. There is like my pain there to validate the thoughts. I for the last about 4 months, no, longer, like let's call it 5 months. I'm trying to find the right time box for life and fill it with things that hopefully will be helpful to others and me. You can call it business, I just call it like how to be useful. And the idea is that if I'm useful to other people, I can like gain on it and then the flourishing can happen. Like I'm watching Shukhrat doing that, so like I'm assuming that if he can do it, I also can, to the extent that like we have very similar principles. And like it's an incredible journey to like try to understand in practice how world works, meaning like I don't know, meaning like if you have the humility to like say and then go out and try to make kind of asymmetric bets, meaning like capped cost and uncapped return. Iyo. Yeah. Thanks. Uh, and like set up a lot of experiments. Try to assume that one of the dimension of the experiment is money, and the other are, for example, your connections with people and who you want to work with. Do you enjoy that person? If you would be in this relationship in half a year or a year, would you still think that you would like to do it? Or is it curious for you for like intellectual reasons? And like asking myself this question most days is an interesting life experience. Because if you are on the other side, meaning as an employee, most of the time you are kind of given a piece of reality and just deal with it. And when I have to build something, what I deal with is what I chose, for better or worse. And that shapes a very different relationship with reality, that like it's a really big sandbox. Meaning I understand that objectively I can like land, technically I could land on the street, but how? Meaning like I have parents, I have a sister, I can like live on couch of friends, I need a computer to work, and I generally believe that I'm working in the field in which like a revolution is happening, and like I don't need a lot of money to live or be happy. So this feels like an asymmetric bet. And inside that bet, I'm just placing more bets. Okay, so do I finance myself from my dev skills or build business skills? Okay, I'm gonna talk with people who do business and check. And these are like experiments. Like my identity has kind of shrunk, meaning it shrunk to I don't know, but I will test. And for most part, with I'm not sure how this will sound, but if you like really tried to get clear with your value structure in just like walk the path every day, like interesting things happen. Like for most interesting purposes, like the business is starting to work. I think that I found the woman of my life. I have beautiful friends. I live in a great country, and I have good relationships with my family. I just need some money. Like that's not so hard to get. Meaning I've looked around. Like people have money. So for most interesting purposes, I'm rich. I just need one more dimension. And if my life continues on the path that I am, unlike in my past experience of life when I tried to do it as an employee, I'm shaping for myself a life that I won't have to run from. To me, that's precious. That's like ultimate luxury. I don't know what's luxury to you. This is kind of your thing to answer, as well as with identity. And I think that I'm not sure if I was answering this question, but like this is to me entrepreneurship, meaning like a spiritual path of creating value for other in order to share within it, so that you can share within it, and running experiments, because I assume that my cost base is so low that there is a lot of chance that it will succeed and be fun. A lot of inspirations from Shukhrat.
Actually, like I wanted to ask you if anybody wants to speak. Like, yeah, we can make a break, or we can invite someone to share. Because maybe you would like to share, maybe you would like to share about your creative past. Because when I start speaking, I prepared for speaking, and I think it's gonna be fun. Yeah, because I like have this one. It's gonna be fun, and also I have presentation. Yeah, I have a topic. So if someone wants to take a mic, please come. Not, let's go drink, and 5 I start speaking. Звук. Пум-пум. Аккуратно, можешь подвигать? Пум-пум. Hello. Okay. I see, it wasn't. I see many people on broadcast. I just manage broadcast because I want to record. We don't have clicker, so I kind of gonna be dynamic. Um, Maybe I will start with some music because today topic is creative flow, and I kind of writer and musician and entrepreneur, and that was kind of my connection. I wanted Sergio to do a little bit of music, and I wanted Borys to share his entrepreneurship journey, and I thought like maybe someone will join and tell about their story, and that could be very cool, in my opinion, but who knows. And then the fact that this all happens means that I wrote a lot, so that makes me writer a little bit also. So I'm gonna just start with kind of a little bit of jam just to test out the guitar. very short because it's not now. So what I wanted to talk about today is about being a channel, because it's a very big insight that literally changed my life, and I want to like kind of write articles about it and talk and speak and scream, because it's something so big for me personally. Because being a channel for me means mastering the flow, and I think everybody would like to master the flow. Since we don't have a clicker, I'm gonna walk around the room and change by hand the presentation like this, and I don't mind, to be honest. Oops. Unless it works, I don't mind. Yeah, I just don't. Yeah. Oh, okay, works. I just want to make sure. Okay. So, have you ever had that feeling that you don't believe, you don't even maybe feel, you are like, you know what's happening, and it's just happening? Have you ever had this feeling like you are not make a decision, you are not here to kind of, I don't know, understand, you are not here to decide, it just happens? Have you ever had this beautiful feeling? And then, why do you think we are all here today? To me, like, whatever could happen, many different stories could happen. Could be a lot of people, could be not a lot of people, not my decision, and I don't really bothered by this decision, but I feel everyone is here because at some point in their life they had a flow of me or interaction or something in their life, and they were attracted because they were aligned with that somehow, somewhere. I don't know why, maybe you know why, but yeah, we just interfered in the life, and here we are. And for me, it's true magic of life, this is the magic. If I call something magic, that's it. And then, to me personally, when I speak about something, the most important thing is the question itself. I will share a little bit of the story. So I spoke to my friend. I like when Borys was speaking, he said that I inspire him sometimes because I really have a lot of deep talks with people, and I love people, and yeah, and that's where my soul comes from, I think. And I had a talk with a friend of mine, and she said that she wants to move to Portugal, but she knows that it's impossible because it's very hard to earn here and very hard to build life, and it's like very, very difficult. And then I live a little bit different life because I can't say like I'm super successful person, never care about anything, but inside myself I'm very free person, and I always say how to make it happen, how to make it happen, and I always try to do better question to understand how it's possible, not why it's impossible. And she asks me this question that, like, I don't believe it might work, and then I said, it's so many ways how it could work. You can, she's actually a doctor, so you can find private practice here, you can start writing about your journey in Portugal, you can share with people your nation how to move. There are many ways how to make it happen if you ask right question. So then also, I think most of us here are expats, and from my friends who, because of the war, moved to Europe, they always ask, we never settled. We are here because we are never settled in our country, because maybe we disagree with something. That's why we are here. And then many people ask me question is, do you feel Portugal like home? And usually when I hear this question, I answer, no, it's the wrong question. We need to rephrase. Because my question is, how do I make Portugal feel like home to me? And how do you make something feel like home? My home is where I am, When I'm in Ukraine, that's my home. If I travel, that's my home. If I'm with my friends, that's my home. Because my home is with me and it's inside me. So then, to me, if I want to feel Portugal like home, I need to participate and make Portugal happen through me and me happen in Portugal. And then we will have connection, and then it will become part of me and I'll become part of it. And now I'm gonna kind of switch a little bit of topic. I had a strange revelation because of my interaction with AI. I don't know, like, I believe it's a silent thing that happens to everyone. Like nobody speaks about it, but I can bet you, everyone just use AI every day. Once, like, once you have a question, you just go to AI and ask. That's everyone's life now already. And if you don't talk about it, motherfucker, I know you do it. Because I do it. Yeah, and then I was at the point, like, my job is marketing, but I also do websites and design. And I was at the point that I wanted to create a small design framework for myself. It's like to simplify my work. And I was working on it, and I needed to make a decision. So I started to speak to AI, explaining my train of thoughts and telling, this is like my initial idea. I want to decide on naming conventions. Could you please help me to figure out? And it started to lead me to one direction. And then I remembered, oh, I have some more points I didn't mention. And I started another chat, so it doesn't have the story and the context. And you know what? It just said, the another direction is the right direction. So I was at the situation speaking to AI that leads me to completely different directions in two chats and saying, this is the right way. And I kind of felt myself, I am the human being sitting by the computer, and I don't take responsibility for my decisions, so I try to convince AI to decide for me. No. And that was such a fucking strange feeling, to be honest. Like, I just like, why? And then I understood that also AI leads me to different directions because there were no right direction. It was like matter of taste. So at that moment I felt like, the hardest thing for me and for people I know to accept is that I am creator. This is the tool, and I am creator, and I can participate here, and I can influence here, and that's my decision to be made, and my taste. And then the question, who am I? What's my taste? That's a very big question to ask for me. And then we go. Oops, I see something went wrong here. Let me check. Oops. Okay, I miss one. Yeah, I miss one slide. Never mind. Yeah. So getting back to talk with my friend and getting back to this feeling of how things happen, I felt like, when we say, for example, let's imagine you want to have a garden and you want to have a beautiful flower in your garden, maybe rose, I don't know which kind of flowers you like. And if you say, I'm gonna grow rose in my garden, it's actually wrong. Because I'm not growing the rose, it grows itself. I don't pull it out from the ground, and it's not happens because of me, it happens because of itself. But with our human language, it kind of feels strange, because even if I say the flower is gonna grow in my garden, is also wrong. Because if I don't, if we cut out the water and sun, it's not gonna grow. So if I want something to happen in my life, the question is, how do I make environment for that flower to flourish in my garden? And for me, this kind of how to build questions so your life flourish is, how do I create environment in my life for something to happen? And the answer is which kind of environment. It's very, it's very different for different situations. You need to reveal what leads. And then, and I told that, you are a creator. But I had this talk with my friend, and it was a beautiful talk. But then I was sitting by my laptop, and I thought, I tell her to ask question how I tell her to ask question about environment. So I leave it. I also do this to myself. And I was sitting by my laptop at some point, playing with feelings, and I thought, what is the best feeling in my life that I want to repeat? And it was the feeling of flow. Because when I'm in flow, when work happens easy, and art happens easy, and conversations happens easy, this is the feeling I want to have more. So I started to ask myself questions. Okay, what's the environment? How? And at that moment, when I just closed eyes and tried to feel, I understood that when I'm creator is not the environment for flow. When I'm channel is the environment for flow. Because when I'm creating, I put myself. This is my idea, this is my creation, this is gonna happen because of me, this is I found there, this is gonna be told about me, this is being creator. And be channel just happens, it just happens through me. I just allow it to happen. I want to play music, I just allow music to happen. It's not me, it's not I take the guitar, I make the song because of my knowledge. No. So for me, environment for flow is when I'm channel, not when I'm creator. And then, I wanted to scream it yesterday at our creative morning, so I put it here today, is that, fucking start believing in yourself and start believing yourself. Because it's like, for me, believing means you are not living it. It means like you don't trust. It means like I have to believe because I don't really feel it's gonna happen. Yeah. So for me also the life, like I was the young man, 15 years old, trying to find what's the purpose of life, and then later I understood that there's no purpose and it's kind of to be created. Yeah. And so it's very short talk actually. This is my turn on being a channel instead of being creator. And what do you think? That's it. Yeah, I actually love. Yep. Actually, I feel different about this. I feel that you don't have to find it. You have to, not have to, but there's a lot of what's not you. And once you get rid of it, you reveal what's you. You allow yourself happy when you just get rid of everything that's not you. Yeah. When you are not in the flow, most likely you are not in the moment. Most likely you are somewhere else. S- okay, I'm gonna repeat questions so people on broadcast here. It just because it goes through mic. Yeah. Yeah. So, what is the environment for being a channel? To me, environment for being a channel. This is same. This is a very deep question, and I wanted to touch it, but I didn't had how. So to me, being a channel is a little bit about being conscious. But there is a but, because to me, being a conscious, I don't know if you agree or not, but is kind of fucking so abstract. Like, what does it mean being conscious? Like, can anybody tell me what means being conscious? But I can tell you what's the environment that's leading to being conscious, and it's the same environment that's leading to being channel. Is sensitivity, vulnerability, and authenticity. Being yourself, being here and now, not judging yourself, allow yourself to happen, not taking out the responsibility, like giving yourself freedom to be yourself. This is environment for channel. And actually I gonna touch it a bit later after the UNQA presentation. So actually this is one of the biggest topics for me about being a channel. So what is happening through us now is a big question, and I think it's not kind of the decision, but it's kind of, you know, it's flow, it just happens, you can't avoid it. It's not like a decision to be made. There is no decision to be made, you can't avoid it. Once you're alive, it's happening. That's it, you are in the game. So yeah, like we are trying, we really, I don't know if anybody heard about what I'm creating, but the company I'm working on for a long time is called UNQA, and the idea behind the company is exactly the environment for people that wants new culture. Because for me, like, I live in Europe, I like to hear about Portuguese history, I like to hear about Italian history, I like to hear about Indian history, but it was at some point, you know, people who made it. And I don't kind of feel that we are in the same space, that we are creating the culture that other generations gonna speak about for hundreds of years. So for me was the question is, how do we create our own culture, and what's the environment for that? Yeah. And our own culture actually can be even more powerful and beautiful than the culture of our ancestors. It's not necessary even to debate. So yeah, our whys are in our name actually, and there are two stories behind UNQA, and this is the official one. That's, I personally believe that for this culture to happen, we need uniqueness, naturalness, quality, and accessibility as a core value of everything we create, all the interactions. Because yeah, for uniqueness, we need to celebrate authenticity, diversity, and the independency, which means nature, diverse. We know that with the growth of the technology, in last 100 years, the diversity of nature shrinked by 80%. That's kind of sucks. Yeah, and the naturalness is about vulnerability and being real and being pure, and you know, and being safe harbor for each other. And then the quality to be committed to sensitivity, to life, to experience, to sustainability. And then accessibility is just, you know, if we are judgmental, if I say, what's your religion, what's your age, what's your country, what's your accent, this is exactly opposite to the space of living together in peace. It's exactly opposite. So this is official, and it's kind of funny. And official is very long story, because when I was in school, I had referat. I don't know if you have it in English. Like, I had to write few papers for school about my favorite animal, and I was looking at library in encyclopedia, and I found at some point jaguar, and I didn't know why. It just so much connected with me. So at that point in second grade of school, I felt, oh, jaguar is my totem animal, and I don't know why. But it's funny story, because then they didn't allow me to get book home. So I went home, I found the encyclopedia, like Soviet Union encyclopedia, something that I could. And the best I could find is the king penguin. So I wrote about that, because that's what was available. But since then I knew about jaguar, and I started to learn more. And I get to know that jaguar is from South America, and jaguar it lived in very specific area of South America, and then and it was like people were telling stories about it and writing in mythology, and there were different cultures: Inks, Maya, Aztecs, and Quechua. And I started to read about Quechua, and I realized that this is the only kind of nation culture situation in human history where people were living together. Everyone would do what they like. Everyone would, improve in what they like. And then they would bring all the fruits of their labor to their tribe, exchange, give to everyone, and then between tribes they would make trades. And that was their culture. And it's so beautiful to me. And then I started to read more about the culture, and this is the only culture that's survived after Europeans, because Inks don't exist, Maya don't exist, Aztecs don't exist, but Quechua still exists. And in their culture, they were believing that they are coming from jaguar, and they were believing that jaguar is the animal that's responsible for fairness in nature. And in language of Quechua, jaguar is UNQA. So that's kind of the story, real story. So yeah, but we worked a lot, and today I want to present something of our work that we did. Is called UNQA.net, and it's a big project. We are small right now, but we already have white paper and we already put a lot of work inside, and we try to create sovereign digital ecosystem. Sounds like difficult to me. So basically what we want to make is we want for everyone to be able to have a self-hosted profile on internet, get back power of freedom, but get back power to access to your data, see who access your data, and get people back freedom of what they want to share, what they don't want to share, and if they share, who sees it, and these kind of things. And just, stop this subscription hell and everything. Yep, and there's a little bit of story behind, because the idea I have for very, very, very freaking long time. It's more than 13 years now. It started when I was kid and I had one of the most difficult periods of my life. And yeah, I kind of, I lost my mother and I was alone with my father, and it was super tough period. And we just moved to another village, no friends, nothing. And at some point I started to study esoterics things and spirituality and stuff like this. I was like 13. And I, at some point, just decided I'm not gonna suffer. I wanted to choose another life, and that's how this idea of which kind of life I would like to live started to grow in my mind. And then in Ukraine, in 19, I started to make marketplace for local entrepreneurs, like just old people who sell on markets. I would come to them and say, "You have a great product. Let's make it beautiful. Let's put it on digital." Or I would find young people that create stuff, that do care about quality, do care about packaging, and I would help them to feature the marketplace. So then the idea was that to make it as easy to buy good products as it's easy to buy shit now. Yeah, and then we started Freespaces in 2020. So basically it's 5 years after the first Freespace. And then we started the agency work, which is like we work as an agency now here again. And then year ago at autumn, I and my brother, we had a call, and my brother is in Ukraine and it's war and it's super hard. And we spoke about what we could do, maybe like some collaboration points or something like this. And I felt like, okay, maybe life just tells me it's time to realize something that's important for me, and I decided to give a chance to something like my dream, the biggest project of my life, which is UNQA.net. And there we started. And by now, in a year and a half, we laid down the core functionality, we developed the foundation, and like everything is not super like basically you already can go type unqa.net, create your self profile and share with people and build your network and things like this, and a lot of things are laid down for future. And then how it started, we created the map of whole brain map of what we want to include in the app. So the core is settled and we know that what's needed is there. And then we did our research, we installed all the social networks we could find, we looked at each screen, each button to understand, do we want to include, how the flow should be, and how to build it instead of like how we push people to interact, instead of how people naturally interact. And then we made UX and UI and drawn all the interactions, trying to build the screens for people. And then we built UNQA.net, and it's a digital ecosystem for people. So now there's already a builder, and this is exactly the page that you can create, that I created for myself. It's unqa.net/Shukhrat, and we have like multiple pages for you. You can use Shukhrat.unqa.net, .unqa.link, unqa.site. Later is gonna be different layers of websites, so you will have your own website, your own shop, your own digital identity, everything for free and potentially self-hosted with some limitations of usage. And then the alpha version is already alive. You can just go. And there are concepts that we built in, so there is something to start and play around. So you already can create network of people. It's like Linktree, but instead of just having a page on the internet, I can go into that Linktree and I can add you to my network. So later I can see you back when I need you. And also, when I add you to my network, I can say which circle of connection you are for me. So I can say, you are my friend, maybe we just met at Freespace, maybe we met at Creative Morning, maybe we are colleagues. And then when I create in Builder the content, I can decide which circle of connection sees exact the element. So for example, if I come to your page, if I'm your friend, I see your personal number, and when I call you, it's personal number. If I'm a person from the street, I also see the button of telephone, but when I call, it's your working number. And could be like same page, different content based on the circle interaction. And then we also have chats, so you can chat to each other. This is we will launch publicly a little bit later. But basically on your Linktree, people are gonna be able to chat you straight away, which is not possible on Linktree, even now. And then, same page, different content, granular sharing based on circles of connection, and you can build your own way how you share on the internet, how you take your privacy. And we will have phased rollout. So we are safe because we don't want to compete with big players like Facebook, like Instagram, TikTok, because it's impossible. We are small, but we can take small bottles. And the first bottle we take, we're gonna replace Linktree, and this is already done. This is we call living business card phase. So you do have your business card, you can already have QR code, you can download the QR code, you can use it, you can change the QR, like people come to your QR code and you can change it at any time, what they see, and based on who they are, they will see different pages. That's super cool when you understand what's happening here. It's living network. And the second one, it's gonna start next month. We're gonna create API for people so they can create their own apps. And we will extend this screen that I showed to you where you can edit. We will extend with more elements. So there's going to be gallery, video, text, everything that you need to create whole page. And you will have whole website builder in your mobile phone for mobile, because 80% of users are mobile. So why wouldn't you create your mobile website from your mobile? Kind of makes sense to me. And so next month we start on extending the builder to make it the actual website builder, and we will start experimenting also with self-hosting or your profiles if you wish to keep your data secure. And the third phase after, like in next year, gonna be you will be able to create your own apps and place on marketplace also. And we will have publishers, so you can publish to multiple social networks at the same time. So you kind of have a lot of tooling here. And then, it's we don't create to compete, we create to build alternative. So we don't care that much of competition in regards of how we make profits on people, how we compete in the pricing, and how we compete in functionality. We care about what people need, how we take care about the people that use our app, how we put love in it, how we do create tools that people love. This is what we focus on our people. I don't even call customers, I don't like this word, these people. We care about people. Yep, and that's it. You can already scan it. You can or type UNQA.net or scan this QR, and if you scan this QR, you'll find my profile, and there's gonna be a small in the left bottom corner, and there's gonna be a small icon to add me to your network, and once you click on it, it will say log in, and then you have to create profile. And I just need to remind that we are alpha, which means there's gonna be a lot of things that don't work maybe. That's all okay. I already put task for developers to make notification system, so you know, like, we fixed things that don't work. We will have place to give feedback, and we really need this feedback. But once you create your profile, you're already able to use it, and people already have all your links there. Yep, and that's it. Thank you. And now, to make some fun, I gonna show off. First time in my life, I have written some music. It's a demo of songs, not even full songs, and I want to play public first time. Yeah, and I need to warn you that my songs, they are a bit strange, you know. You'll see. Oops. I'm very shy guy. Fuck off, I'm meditating. Your voice is irritating. I'm trying to find the peace inside myself. I'm thinking you're attractive, but I'm out of practice. I'm here and now, but you are not, so leave it for myself. Fuck off, I'm meditating. Your voice is irritating. I'm trying to find a peace inside myself. I'm thinking you're attractive, but I'm out of practice. I'm here and now, but you are not, so leave it for myself. Fuck off, I'm meditating. Your voice is irritating. I'm trying to find the peace inside myself. I'm thinking you're attractive, but I'm out of practice. I'm here now, but you are not, so leave it for myself. It's actually a little bit of satiric song, and I wanted to share it because once I realized this thing about channel, it's like a story that keeps going on. You know, I was staying in shower, and I was like, you know, washing my body, and I had these words coming, And I felt like, oh fuck, it's such a strange words to sing. And then I like said to myself, who am I to judge? It's just something channels through me. Let's write down. And I written down, and then the music came, and here we are. It's a song. But I have another one. Not yet, but I gonna connect to the profile that you saw. Yeah, I need to record them. I think I have friends that can help me with this. I feel afraid that I can forget words during a play, so I need to open them. Another one is about consciousness, but consciousness is boring, and I actually feel like consciousness is a little bit sexy. So I made the song, and I want to share. The song is called "Wake Me Up and Wake Me Down." Wake me up from unconsciousness. I wanna breathe with my deepest chest. I wanna see what I see around. Wake me up and wake me down. Yeah, I'm here and I'm alright. I wanna feel it with you tonight. I wanna get to the sweetest part, sliding down to the upper ground. Yeah, I'm here and I'm alright. I wanna feel it with you tonight. I wanna get to the sweetest part, sliding down to the upper ground. Skipping the path for the inner God, walking straight away to the God. Wake me up from unconsciousness. I wanna breathe with my deepest chest. I wanna see what I see around. Wake me up and wake me down. Yeah. Sorry, it's first time I play this like this. Yeah. And yeah, I just wanted to put a little bit more sensitivity and sex into consciousness. Just a little bit, so it's not feel like boring, abstract something that I don't care about. About this, I do care. Yeah. And okay, I need to. I just realized something, but I need you to give me a second. Or maybe no. Let me check. Okay, yeah, this one I have. So I have one more song, and it's a bit, I think you're gonna understand about what it's about: media, about social, about heart, about how it is annoying, all this flow. Have to start again, I think. The feed overflowing my screen. I feel like it's getting to find me. It's too much of you, it's too much for me. The phone is attacking too deep. The phone is collapsing my brain. I almost feel literal pain. I float in the media train. I can't get it down to process. Stop pushing me, getting obsessed. I don't have the need to digest. My phone is collapsing my brain. If I am the cloud, then I gonna rain. Kind of made you listen to me. Yeah, and maybe someone knows. But yeah, I have a song that's a very short song, and I want to try to make it interactive. Just try to remember the words. The words are: I'm not a robot, I'm not a machine, I'm part of nature, I'm human being. And I'm gonna sing 1 and 2, and then make maybe like bridge, and then sing 1 and 2. So yeah, I'm gonna repeat like I call it yoga people have mantra, and indie rock people don't have mantra. So this is indie rock people mantra. It's I'm not a robot, I'm not a machine, I'm part of nature, I'm a human being. And it's very, very simple song actually. I'm not a robot, I'm not a machine, I'm part of nature, I'm a human being. I'm not a robot, I'm not a machine, I'm part of nature, I'm a human being. Sorry, let's try again, and maybe you can join now. I just try to play this bridge again. I'm not a robot, I'm not a machine, I'm part of nature, I'm a human being. I'm not a robot, I'm not a machine, I'm part of nature, I'm a human being. I'm not a robot, I'm not a machine, I'm part of nature, I'm a human being. I'm not a robot, I'm not a machine, I'm part of nature, I'm a human being. Once more. I'm not a robot, I'm not a machine, I'm part of nature, I'm a human being. I'm not a robot, I'm not a machine, I'm part of nature, I'm a human being. Woo. Yeah, and now the last one, second. I give a pause of 2 minutes, and it's gonna be it. Okay, yeah. I said that this song is, before I said it's not finished, but because of the lyrics, I really like it. The previous was, I know, it's not difficult to understand what it was about. Just like, remember yourself, you're not a robot. Very simple idea. And this one just concludes, I think, today's topic and in general. Um, yeah, what could make a change? The next revolution will happen without the word being spoken. The next revolution will happen because it's already in me. I'm not here to be broken, and it's not about being awoken. I'm here to get the fuck out from the intersand in a fight. The next revolution within, it's inside, live it in. Don't give up, don't give down, make it happen through you. Always out or inside. The next revolution is going to stop where I'm from moving. I feel like I lost what I had to pursue. Instead I will choose to be true. No need to be proven or spoken. I don't need the title or token. I feel what I am, I get what I've got. I feel I'm forget what I'm not. The revolution within, it inside, live it in. Don't give up, don't give down, make it happen through you. Always out or inside. The next revolution is moving. The light don't have need to be proven. I feel like I am is enough for insight. I feel like I am the sight. No need to be proven or spoken. I don't need the title or token. I feel what I am, I got what I've got. I need to forget what I'm not. Thank you very much. That's pretty much it.